I spend a lot of my time talking to you guys about solution-focused brief therapy and how to do it. But today I want to talk to you about solution-focused brief therapy and why I think it matters and how I think it can play a role in this crazy world that we currently live in. And I started thinking about this today. I had a meeting with the newest member of my team who she doesn't know a whole lot about solution-focused brief therapy. So we had a meeting today for her to ask me questions about this approach. And as we were going through the meeting and I was explaining to her solution-focused therapy, it was really cool. I was talking to her about we solution-focused through research achieves the same outcomes as traditional psychotherapy, but is more efficient in fewer sessions. And the centerpiece of this approach is hope, and we focus on client outcomes and not their problems, and explaining all this stuff to her and talking about how you have to really think the best of people, and you have to believe in people's capacities to use this approach, to do this work. And it was a really cool meeting. I really enjoyed it. And then when I was done with the meeting, I was just, killing time, waiting for my next work thing I had to do. I jumped on Facebook and I see just unbelievable evidences of the civil unrest we're currently living in. It was a protest last night in Wisconsin, where somebody drove from Illinois to Wisconsin and shot two protesters, just shooting them. I just thought, holy cow, man, this is getting ridiculous. The amount of unarmed people being shot and the amount of just what's happening in this world is just so unbelievable. And watching unarmed black men shot by police, and watching protesters shot by, this was a 17-year-old kid walking down the street with a massive military grade weapon. I don't know what to do, but I am feeling helpless, I'm feeling lost, but I'm also feeling we are asked as solution-focused professionals to think the best of our clients and talk to them in a very particular way that makes hope the center point of the conversation. And something magical happens in those conversations when that's the case. And I spend my career traveling around the world, doing things online, spreading this idea of hope through language and the impact of hope through language. And I now find myself thinking, maybe this is not just about what happens in the clinical room. Maybe there's a bigger role we could play in life. And to do that, I think I want to challenge you to, no matter what, I want you to look at people differently than you look at them. I want you to listen to people differently than you listen to them. I want you to start practicing listening more than talking. Because really, honestly, the center of solution-focused therapy is much more about how you listen than it is how you talk. So, for the time being, let's put judgment aside for a moment. Let's stop listening for understanding, and let's just listen for compassion. Let's listen differently, because I think the only way we are going to get out of this, and the only way we're going to change this, is if we can start viewing people with a lens of compassion. The man that passed away, or he didn't pass away actually, he was shot 7 times as he was walking to his car. His name named Jacob Blake. And Jacob Blake was breaking up a fight, and he was walking to his car because the police had arrived, and he was relieved that the police had arrived, so he was now walking back to his car so he could be with his 3 children. And he was shot 7 times and will most likely never walk again, and thank God he survived. Can you imagine if the police had given that man the grace to think maybe he's walking to his car as opposed to going to get a weapon or going to cause some harm or viewing him as a threat in any way? If we walk through this world viewing everyone as a threat, then this is what we get. But if we can practice listening with compassion and giving people grace, then I think we have a good chance making a difference in this world. And I know that this is impactful because that's exactly what it requires to do solution-focused brief therapy effectively. You have to listen with compassion. You have to give people grace. And that's like I'm challenging you. Like I'm challenging you to, when you see a black man running down the street, not think he's running away from a crime, maybe he's jogging. When you see a black man walking towards a car, maybe he's just being a dad. That's giving someone grace. And when a black person tells you, like, this is what life is like for us right now, and this is how we feel right now, instead of listening to understand, or instead of listening to see if you agree or not, just be compassionate, understand that this is the lived experience of another person, and to listen with compassion gives that person value. And right now, that's our current struggle, and we're struggling with it big time. And I don't know what else to do except to challenge you to give people grace and compassion.